Charlottesville Inside Out is made possible thanks in part to its patrons, committed to supporting the people, places, and quality of life that uniquely define Charlottesville and its surroundings, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Dare to be wrong. I understand what you're saying. Most people will understand what you're saying.
We like it that our friends can come and enjoy it. They got their own little penthouse up there. You got like an amazing view of all the lights and everything at the festival. It's awesome.
For WHTJ, I'm Terry Allard, and this is Charlottesville Inside Out.
All right, you got it? Put the pedal to the metal, crazy lady. We have the all-access pass.
On today's show, we'll be visiting a popular festival that was founded in 2013 with the goal of providing the ultimate atmosphere for live music. Located halfway between Charlottesville and Lynchburg and surrounded by the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains, this 4-day event has featured artists like Tom Petty, Bob Weir, Fish, Willie Nelson, Carlos Santana, Susan Tedeschi, and many more. Join us today as we check out Lockn. Come on. So Dave, what inspired you to co-found Lockn?
I'm a fan of music, and my partner Peter Shapiro is also, and we both are fortunate enough to work in the music business. And we kind of reconnected in 2012 and started talking about maybe starting a festival that we'd like to go to, that we'd like to see.
Right.
But we just wanted it to be like super music centric, and we're both big fans of the jam scene, so it was focused on that as well.
Well,
and rock.
You started as a musician.
Yes.
So tell me just quickly how you went from being a musician to being a promoter.
I was a somewhat capable musician playing in a band. I was able to quit my job and
you played
some level of success. I was playing guitar.
Okay.
And we had a cover band, we had an original band, and anyway, all our gear got stolen. So once that happened, a club owner had a benefit for us, and nobody did anything. So I was like, well, somebody better do something. So I got out and I went and put flyers everywhere and went to the local radio station and got them to give away tickets and did things like that. And the day of show, it sold out. And so I worked on that side of it for a bit, and then I got into management.
And then it just evolved. You've worked with Cheap Trick, the Ramones, Blues Traveler.
That's when I first met Pete Shapiro, actually, was because Blues Traveler were playing at Wetlands.
So you guys know about music, and so you know what you're doing, and you have a sense of what works and doesn't work as far as putting on a festival. Talk about the music.
Well, I think just to the point you just said, we do know, but the most important thing is that you never really know.
That's true too.
Because everything changes all the time. It's never like there's firm earth under your feet. That's how I That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Sitting here in limbo, got some time to search my soul.
Name some of the music that's been happening here.
So we always have a really strong Grateful Dead component of some kind, or we try to. And then we kind of mix in some younger bands and just putting in things we like Jimmy Cliff or Willie Nelson, or it's not really genre specific, locked down like that.
Right.
But it's about bands that really know how to play live and can deliver.
Yeah, and you've got some great female performers. Susan Tedeschi comes here. Who else?
Grace Potter.
Yeah.
And just, Nikki Bloom, and there's just a lot.
It's I think maybe all of our first time seeing Phil Lesh in real life, and that they brought Bobby out. It's unbelievable. It's going to be unforgettable.
So I'm super excited to see Humphreys McGee and Widespread Panic, String Cheese Incident. Phil Lesh and Friends is going to be awesome.
Belated birthday celebration.
That's right.
3 months late, but
yeah, I was
who's
about to
counting?
say birthday in May, but.
I'm here just because I love music festivals. We've been Deadheads since 1986, I think.
This is our vacation. We don't go to the Jersey Shore, we don't go to the Maryland Shore. This is what we do.
So who comes to the festival?
The people that come to Lockn are mostly out of state. Connecticut, New York, down to Atlanta.
Yeah,
And
all ages.
yeah, it is. But what we found is a lot of people love camping here. So
Right, and you have family camping and you have sober Lockn.
that's right. Yeah, we've got a lot of smaller things like that too.
Yeah, so that if someone's coming to the festival, wants to enjoy music, but they're trying really hard to stay sober, they have a
Yeah.
place to land with people who have the same goal.
They're in
You
a
have-
supported situation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and families that don't necessarily want to stay up till 5 in the morning playing guitar.
Yeah, you'd think the families would be a little more sedate, but I've found some of them aren't.
We have a tent inside the venue, and we put on recovery meetings 4 times a day. It helps us get through the weekend sober and clean from mind and mood altering substances. And music is a big part of our lives, so it's important that we can still come out, with like-minded people.
John Fogerty's going to be here. How cool is that? The Avett brothers. And what the interesting thing about Lockn, the cool thing about Lockn is they take people that you wouldn't normally think of and mash them up together and they play together. So I think Ann from Heart is going to be playing with Government Mule. So that'll be cool.
So you have the main stage, and then you have Terrapin Station in Garcia Forest. Talk about that.
We always have like a alternative type of staging area. And we focused it this year in the woods because you've got the canopy. It's always like 5 or 10 degrees cooler in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a soft landing place where people can be a little bit more relaxed. And we tried to program it that way also.
Well, and let's talk about the property, because one of the things that has changed is you are now next door to where you started.
Right.
And now you can do so many different things that you couldn't do before, or you can do
Yeah,
it when
that's
you
right.
want. Talk about that. That's huge.
Yeah, we started at Oak Ridge in 2013. We were able to come to a long-term arrangement with them to do, a festival over time. And in 2014, this property next door that we're on now became available. It's 387 acres, and we bought it just in time before the show started. And so we were able to centralize a lot of things. In 2015, we put in a lot of infrastructure. We put in power, water, septic, internet.
Well, and how many people come to this festival?
We average about 25,000 people. That's our sweet spot.
And now, because you're on your own permanent spot, there are other events that you can do now that you are doing throughout the year.
Yes, we are. We're looking to curate the right type of evergreen events that we can just have come in every year, and have them be the right situations. We had a great situation with Spartan Race has come to the property, and Festi is here, and we've also done Community Day, and we tried a wine fest, and we're looking at other, uses for the property. They might not all be musical. We'd really like to do like a bike riding festival.
Yeah.
We don't want to compete with ourselves with Lockn.
These guys wanted to throw a huge Grateful Dead party. The music lets you feel it, lets you experience it, lets you be a part of it.
My dad started showing me Grateful Dead when I was younger, and then I just started loving it. So I started coming to this.
You only have to do this one time without a fan and a pavilion and pillows to realize that you don't want to do it again wrong. And then you never forget those things. Toilet paper, face wipes, like you never forget them again.
Oh yeah.
Liquids, you have to balance between special liquids and pure water. Otherwise you will miss most of the festival. So we've learned that over the years as well.
We've tried to create other things as well, clearly. I mean, we've got a great piece of land, and we're trying to showcase what's local, because that's what can make us unique.
And you have a local component too, as far as the music goes. You have this contest every year, Rockin' to Lockn.
Having been in a band, I know that how impossible it is to get any type of break at all. I mean, it's just, and nowadays it's even harder, I think. But anyway, so we have a contest called Rockin' to Lockn, and Virginia-based bands can sign up, and it's awful in a lot of ways because it's a popularity contest. People have to show up and vote for which band they want.
Right.
And
you get all your friends to come, you get all
tough,
your fans to come.
and at the end they do the announcement, and it's like, the bands that win are jumping around for joy, and the other bands are like falling to their knees and just sobbing. And you know, sometimes it's really dramatic to me at least. I don't know. But I feel for them, but it is a huge opportunity. And
plays Mainstage.
Yeah, and Aaron, like from Aaron and the Wildfire, was just like
Aaron Lunsford.
It wasn't even playing at the show, which was huge, and you know, meeting the other bands and being on a big show like that. It's having your name on the poster with Willie Nelson and Tom Petty and all that. That there's Aaron and the Wildfire right in there with those other acts like that. It's big.
So how many people does it take, Dave, to put on this festival? Volunteers and employees?
Well, we have 3 great people in this office: Mary Beth, Sandy, and Clinton, who work year-round, and we've got farm hands that work very hard here on the property year-round also. And then we've got the Pete's office in New York, the Relics people and Dayglow people that are, you know, there's different levels of support at any given time depending on what stages we're in. But when the show comes to town, we have about 650 people that are living here, working here, running the show. And that's screening, security, big deployments of people.
Yeah.
You know, also.
And when you look back over all these years so far, what would you consider the most challenging part of running a festival, and maybe some of your favorite moments?
My favorite moments are the music, when the music has come together, you know. And a lot of it to me is the spontaneous collaborations that happen. And then there's also the not so spontaneous collaborations that we kind of make happen that, you know, knock wood, have all worked so far. The Mad Dogs and Englishmen reunion, and a lot of times people look at the ad and go, what? I don't even know what that is, but they show up and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, those are the best highlights.
What are the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge, I think, is just, and this is a positive thing too, is that after you do the show is kind of the coming down from it and going, oh no, what are we going to do next year? You know, like, you know, how are we going to top that, you know? So that's because we're always trying to raise the bar a little bit or a lot, and then you do it and then you're like, oh, now we're at this level. We can't, you know, we got to keep going up, hopefully, or at least keep it the same. So that's challenging, I think, because we've set a pretty high standard.
I feel like music is a really great place for people to find, you know, love and happiness, and with just people dancing around, smiling, having a great time. I think that's really important for a lot of people to experience now.
You're able to hit refresh and just look at the world coming out of it is a happier place, and you're able to take that out into the world and spread it around to people who don't come out to things like this.
I think we fell in love with music festivals a couple years ago at the Peach Fest, and it's just great to go and just let it go for 4 days. That's why we're here.
You need to help a person who really wants to live here, to be productive. It's just a win-win situation.
Confidence is the biggest thing with them. A lot of them can speak English, but they're afraid to try.
Today we're going to learn about a nonprofit organization that provides free English language instruction to adults in our community to help them realize their full potential as individuals, citizens, and parents. Join us as we catch up with Ellen Moore Osborne, Executive Director with Literacy Volunteers of Charlottesville, Albemarle. Come on.
Can you write holiday or celebration in there?
Celebration.
Okay.
Literacy Volunteers is here because we want to teach individuals in the area how to read, write, and speak the English language.
And who do you serve?
We serve a variety of people. Many are from other countries. We have people who are here from 41 different countries who speak 38 different languages.
Oh my, yeah.
And we also serve some native-born people who are learning to either read or write. Somehow they might have missed out on high school, or maybe they're retired and it's time for them to learn to read the Daily Progress or anything that they're interested in.
That's so great. And now the programs are just for adults, right?
Yes, we only serve adults.
How does it work? How does someone qualify?
Well, one of the main qualifications is that we serve people who are going to stay in the area.
Okay. They're from the area. They live or work here, right?
Right. They live or work in Charlottesville, Albemarle, or any of the contiguous counties close by, if it makes sense for them to be able to come here and get services. And we will test them to find out their level, whether it's their English speaking level or reading level, so we know where we're starting.
Measuring.
Measuring spoon.
Measuring spoon. What are these?
Measuring cup.
Very good. Measuring cup.
We recruit and train volunteers who agree to work about 2 hours a week for a whole year with an individual who really wants to learn the English language to become self-sufficient. Most of our students, they come to us because they're having trouble functioning in the community. Either they can't read well enough, or there's a language barrier for what they want to do. So we will find out what they want to work on, what their personal goal is, what part of their life they want to improve, and then we will match them with a volunteer tutor who has been trained. We train the tutors very well so that they know what to expect, and they're prepared for just about anything that comes along.
We had a one-day session, and I'm like, what could they teach you in one day? But it was absolutely excellent. You do some prep work for your classes, of course, but it's an opportunity to give back and to help someone.
I am from Iran. I come here to improve my English. Now I passed the ESL 12 and ESL 13, but I'm stuck in the English 111.
So give me an example of what they do when volunteers come and they're trained. What happens?
Well, we get to know the tutor during the training session. We have an all-day training session where we get to know them a little bit and find out what their interests are. Some people want to work with people who are native to the area, and some people really have a desire to know somebody from a different culture. So we get to know the tutor, we train them, and then we match the tutor with what their interests are and with a student that kind of matches that interest. A lot of the time it's, I want to work with somebody whose first language is Spanish, or first language is Farsi, or any of those types of things. We try and match the tutor's interest with the students we have available. And we always have students available. Usually we have about 20 to 40 on our waiting list who are waiting to be matched with a tutor.
I lived in Afghanistan, no class, no school, no work, no university, no learning, anything, no, nothing. And now I am, I all try for learning everything.
We had to talk about goals. Do you want to get a better job? Why are you here? You had to say to your student, why are you here? And she said, I want to go to college, and I want all 5 of my children to go to college. So I think when you have somebody with that kind of ambition and drive and optimism and hope, there's no limits.
While they're on the waiting list, they're still working toward their goal, right? Talk about that.
Yes. So we have several things that we do with them while we get to know them, because we want to work with people who are committed to the program. So we will put them on a computer language program like Rosetta Stone, or there's a couple others. And during this time, we get to see if they make their appointments, if they're committed to actually improving, showing up. We also have some conversation groups where these are group situations where people who don't speak English as a first language will get together and practice pronunciation. They can learn some basic things like days of the week and weather and holidays, and basic things that we need to be conversational with each other in this community.
That is so great. And how many students this year are you having?
So we will serve 450 this year.
And how many volunteers?
So we have 350 volunteers.
So
there's a little bit of
volunteers.
Mismatch. Yes. And students will stay for any length of time. We have people who want to come in and just learn something simple, simple to us. Like if they just want to learn enough to pass a driver's license test. Well, maybe that takes 6 or 8 weeks. And so we get in, we acknowledge their goal, we match them with a tutor who will help them meet that goal. and then they may be done. And then that frees up the tutor for their next match.
Okay.
But our real goal is to move them to the next educational step, whether it's to a class in Charlottesville, Albemarle, or to PVCC.
We just had a guy in here who was talking about how he had missed out in life on the opportunities to learn to read, and now I guess he's in his 50s and having a great time beginning to explore words.
It's a wonderful reminder of what people can do when they want to. It's also helps you see your community through new eyes.
We have individuals who have never held a pencil before. And so not only are you teaching the language, you're teaching the study skills and all of that comes along with it, the commitment and, how to memorize and how to piece things together.
And the students are so dedicated.
Yes.
They really, really want to learn.
Yes. By the time they get matched with a tutor, they've been here probably at least 8 weeks. We try not to make them wait much longer than that, but it often depends on the availability of the tutors.
So why is this so important in our community? How does this affect our community?
Well, it's really about becoming self-sufficient. It's really helpful for people who, we have students who are PhDs in their home country, and they come here, and because of the language barrier, they're kind of stuck in a lower level job, not making a lot of money. And if they can get over that hurdle of the language, maybe they can get back into their chosen fields and follow their dreams in this country that might have been their dreams in a previous country.
Oh, exactly.
In Iran, my position is as a manager or conservator in the historical zone. I want to share my experience, my skills, in the art, history, and culture for American teenagers.
I have a very big dream. Take a GD, for me very important. GED, very important.
So this is a free program,
yes,
right? So how are you able to provide this program?
Well, we have a lot of individual donors, private foundations. The city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County help us a little bit. We have a grant from the state of Virginia Department of Education. We have a very mixed revenue stream, and we also have wordplay.
Wordplay?
Yes.
So this
That's about 10% of our budget.
10% of your budget. And this has become such a popular community event. So tell us all about it.
It's a lot of fun. Usually we have about 45 to 50 teams competing against each other about cultural literacy, and they get to, talk about being the smartest group in town. But the teams pay to participate, and that's where we make our money. And then it's also open to audience. Audience tickets come in, $20 to come in and watch and play along and have a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody attends. It's really, it's become such a great community event.
And it's kind of unpredictable. We're not sure what the questions are going to be about every year, and it's different every year.
At the Paramount, held at the Paramount Theater. So tell us about the citizenship program.
So we know that there are several hundred legal permanent residents in Charlottesville, Albemarle. These are green card holders who are eligible to become citizens. And we have been working with our partner, the IRC International Rescue Committee, to help identify these people and get them the tools that they need to finish that out, whether it's English language acquisition or learning the 100 questions that they need to know for the test, or help with their paperwork. And that's just been heartwarming to see new citizens sworn in that, that we've worked with before.
I know we had an influx of immigrants coming into Charlottesville, and my own grandparents immigrated to the United States. I wanted everybody to have the same chance that my family has had.
She had a job, and she was quick to learn as well. The students, I found, are very, very committed and very eager.
Is the community supportive of this organization?
Yes, the community is very supportive, helping us spread the word about the need for volunteers. Day of Caring, we'll have days where volunteers come in and do things for us, stuff envelopes and things like that. So.
And if someone wants to get involved, what do they do?
Well, they can look us up on the web, literacyforall.org. It's FORALL, literacy for all, you know, because the English language is like 10 different ways you could do that.
I know.
Right.
Right.
So it's literacyforall.org, or you can call our office and we'll tell you when the next tutor training event is. We're having about 10 or 12 a year now because just the need, and we have to train the tutors to keep up with the demand.
That's fantastic. Ellen, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
I've learned so much about their culture and about the different kinds of people from the world. You know, I've had people from 27 different countries. Thursday night is one of the best nights of the week for me. I just feel good.
I want to say, all of them, I say thank you so much to help to all immigrant, all foreign people like me, and also the American native peoples also here.
That's it for this week. For WHTJ, I'm Terry Allard. Join us next time on Charlottesville Inside Out.
Charlottesville Inside Out is made possible thanks in part to its patrons, committed to supporting the people, places, and quality of life that uniquely define Charlottesville and its surroundings, and by viewers like you. Thank you.